Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video called, you saw the title, but it's inspired by all of the booktubers that I watch and how they influenced me to buy different books in the community. So let's go ahead and get started. So these are in no particular order, they're just kind of how they're stacked next to me as I pull them off my bookshelf. But the first one I have is Children of Blood and Bone by this author whose name I cannot pronounce, I'm sorry. I would have never picked up a book like this, as I don't normally read fantasy, and this is a very intimidating looking fantasy book, but I am so glad I did. It's become one of my favorite reads, not only of this year, but ever. I'm not going to be able to say the character names correctly, probably, but this follows the story of Zelie, and she was born as a magi, which are the magic people of Orisha. So the Magi have been hunted and killed for several years under the ruthless, under the ruthless reign of their king. He doesn't want them to have magic. He has taken away the magic and wants them all killed. So Zelie sets out to restore the magic, and along the way, she meets up with a rogue princess, a rogue prince, and her brother. She doesn't meet up with her brother, she travels with him. Sorry, I'm not very good at describing books, but this one I loved, definitely would recommend. The next book I have is Love and Other Carnivorous Plants by Florence Gonsalves. I saw this in a book haul a YouTuber did, and I was immediately enthralled. I have yet to read it, but from what I understand, so this follows the story of a girl named Danny who, instead of going to pre-med, ends up in an eating disorder facility and meets another girl that she hits it off with instead of her current girlfriend, Sarah. I think that this is the kind of stuff we need to talk about more in society, and so hands down, I love the premise of this book and hope I love it when I read it. The next book I have is Fangirl by Rowell. This is actually the first BookTube inspired book that I bought. I picked it up at Target on a whim. I am really excited to read it because it sounds exactly like something I would like. I did purchase it last November. It's still on my TBR, but everyone tells me I need to read this. So this follows the story of a girl named Kath who is in the Simon Snow fandom. She lives, breathes, loves Simon Snow. And her sister Ren has recently kind of phased out of the fandom, but Kath isn't ready to let go yet. So when Ren informs her she doesn't want to be roommates at college, she wants to go off on her own and do her own thing, Kath is left on her own and has to learn how to survive without Ren holding her hand the whole time. The next book I have is Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. This book, I think, first off, I would have bought this on the cover alone. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and I am in love with the cover. I don't know much about this book outside of that it is magical realism, and I'm looking to kind of dive into more genres that I haven't yet. And magical realism is one that I have yet to really get into. So I've heard a lot of great things on BookTube about this book, and I'm hoping to love it. The next book I have is Everyone's an Aliebn When You're an Aliebn Too by Jonny Sun. So this book follows the story of an alien whose name is Jonny, something like that, and his experience here on Earth, kind of how he views our people, our plants, our animals, and kind of how he interacts with them. Next, I have The Bells by Dhonielle Clayton. This follows the story of Camellia, who is a bell, and bells control beauty in other human beings in this world. But for Camellia, it's not just enough being a belle. She wants to be the favorite belle. She wants to work at the kingdom, attend to the royals, that is what she aims to do. And she gets there, but when she gets there, she realizes being a favorite isn't all it's cracked up to be. The next book I have is 10 Things I Can See From Here by Carrie. This follows the story of a girl named Mauve who suffers from severe anxiety, and she is really tested when she is sent to live with her dad in Vancouver and her pregnant stepmom. And this book just kind of follows how she deals with that kind of thing and how she makes friends while living with severe anxiety. This is something I live with. This is something I go through. So I feel like I'd really love this book, and I'm thankful that BookTube introduced me to it. The next book I have is Eliza and Her Monsters. This is the Owl Crate edition I'm a new subscriber to Owl Crate, but I bought this off of someone else. So I picked up this book after hearing about it on BookTube because I feel like this describes me, like Eliza is me. Eliza is kind of shy, she's a little awkward in real life, like she's not like the most popular person, but online she is thriving with her writing community. And so, I mean, that's really all I needed to know, like, hi, Eliza, Rachel, interchangeable. So I put off reading this book because I know I will absolutely love it and relate to it so much, and I'm not sure I'm ready to yet, but yes, I want to read this book before the end of the year. The next book I picked up was The Lonely Hearts Hotel by Heather O'Neill. All I really know about this book is that it's set back in time, I think the early 1900s, and it deals with orphans and magical realism. Again, trying to get more into magical realism, so I'm hoping to really like this book. The next book I have is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, also an Owl Crate edition. This follows the story of a guy named Monty, and he is expected to take over his father's throne and take over the family business and settle down. But the problem is he has a crush on a black boy named Percy, which does not fit into his father's plan for him. So this is his one last trip before he has to settle down, and so he takes Percy and his sister Felicity, and they cause some mayhem. Again, this is a book set back in time, which I don't normally read, but that to me just sounds like an amazing plot. The next book I have is Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. Yeah, Emma Mills, again, Owl Crate edition. This book follows the story of a girl named Claudia who accidentally overhears the breakup of the It couple, which puts her in a very sticky situation. It sounds like a cute contemporary, kind of like following Claudia as she tries to survive her senior year in high school. It's not too long, and it sounds like something I'd love. Next I have What I Lost by Alexandra Ballard, something like that. And this follows the story of a girl named Elizabeth who is sent to an eating disorder treatment facility. You might notice the same kind of themes along in the books that I read. She doesn't believe that she belongs there, and she makes it her mission to endure the program and then get right back home and get back to where she started. Until she starts receiving mysterious packages, and then her whole world is kind of turned around. As you may have noticed, I like reading books, particularly about eating disorders, because I think it plagues our society and we should talk more about it. But yeah, this sounds like something I would love. And then the last three books I have are not, I didn't buy them because of BookTube, but I bought them because of YouTube, so I figured I'd throw them in here. The first two are I Hate Myselfie by Shane Dawson and It Gets Worse by Shane Dawson. They're collections of essays that talk about different points in Shane's life and what he's been through and what he goes through. Some of them are really funny, some of them are really heartbreaking, and all in all, I think they're beautifully written. And then last, but certainly not least, I have Adultolescence by Gabbie Hanna. I picked this up just to support her because I know how much pre-orders can help support an author in getting their name on the New York Times bestsellers list. So I was like, I'll pick this up. I don't read poetry, but, see what it's all about. And this easily became one of my favorite reads of 2017. And yeah, I thought this was beautifully written, and I'm glad I picked it up on the whim. So those are all the books that I have to show you. You should see my Amazon shopping list. It is just full of BookTube recommended books, and I'm sure I'll continue going broke as I buy more things that people suggest. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment telling me if you've ever bought a book from BookTube or what your favorite book you've heard about here has been so far. Was that English? Maybe. Yeah, and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Oh, it's just you. These are hilarious. They're short story collections from, I guess, hold on.